that my son committed suicide. And he committed suicide on my veranda, and my 2 small children are the ones who found him. And they kept telling me, "Mami, come and see, kuna game mbaya Chichi anacheza." And it was a Sunday evening and we had just had supper. And I thought that it was just one of his antics because he was a difficult boy. He became very difficult after he failed his Form 4 exams. And so finally, when they kept going and coming, and I was in my room. When I went outside, I found my son hanging on my veranda. And the most wicked sight in my life is to see his tongue hanging almost up till here. Because he had... I screamed and I climbed up immediately and I collected him and I put him down and I rushed. I started calling his sisters to take him to hospital. So we rushed to hospital, but when we reached there, the hospital told us that nobody actually was doing anything. They checked it. I told them to put him on oxygen because he was lacking oxygen and his fingers had become gray because there was no oxygen. That usually happens after 2 minutes or about 6 minutes of lack of oxygen in the body. So I walked out and I just went and I told God, "God, please help me. Please help me." So when I went back, they were not doing anything. I said, "Why aren't you doing anything?" And then it just dawned on me that actually it was over. And as it was over, there was no need for oxygen. There was no need for anything else. And so we had to wait there until we reported to the chief, reported to Embakasi police, and wait until about 3 o'clock when the police vehicle came to take my son and put him in a vehicle car and take him to the mortuary. That is the most wicked, hateful thing that you'll ever need to see. Youth, hakuna kitu ngumu sana ile huwezi kuongea. There is nothing so hard that cannot be discussed. Whether it was sexual violence, which I came to discover that he had been sodomized, whether it was bullying in school, whether it was peer pressure, whether it was failing his exams. So when he failed his exams, first of all, his knowing depression makes you have all the symptoms that are mentioned in that paper. All of them, he had them. He would come to the sitting room, he's dressed in his underwear, he doesn't care, he doesn't come out of bed. So I used to insist he comes and eats with us. He doesn't want to eat with us. And so they become very difficult when depression hits. So recognize, please, when somebody starts shutting down, there's a problem. This boy had grown up as a very healthy, loving, fun-loving boy, full of love, full of laughter, full of jokes. But something happened somewhere along the line, and he just started withdrawing. And I kid you not, within 6 months, he had committed suicide. Youth, I want to tell you, you know, you can think that you're the one in the problem. There's a place you will reach, you will be unable to pull yourself out again. So before you reach that pit, before you reach that bottom, please ensure that you have talked to somebody. Please ensure that you have shared with somebody. There's nothing too hard. There's nothing too hard. Bible says there is nothing new under the sun. So anything that you're going through is not new. It has happened to somebody else, and it can be solved. We buried my son, but now the after effects are the worst, because now I kept blaming myself. What didn't I do? What did I do? I tried to be as supportive as I wanted. He refused school. One day he just said, "Mami sirudi hiyo shule," and that was it. I had to look for another school for him to go to. And when he went to another school again, then he refused to attend lessons. and then he attends exams, and then he's shocked that he fails his exams. And so when we showed him his results and he came home with the results, he couldn't believe it, and that's when he started going downhill. So the sisters, his sisters, my children, all tried to encourage him to do other things. You can't sit. Do you want to go to driving school? Do you want to go to college? Do you want to draw? Because he was a very good artist. Do you want to draw? What do you want to do? We'll do it for you. He says, bado siko tayari, bado sijajua, I'll let you know. Then that day, he hung himself. But what it has happened, the after effects, is that thereafter, I'm the one who hit depression. I couldn't believe, I couldn't think, I couldn't eat. I couldn't think, how do you bury a 20-year-old son? A boy with mandevu? Somebody, how do you bury your son? Just how do you bury your son? In August this year, we went to fix his grave. And there's nobody who feels the pain apart from a mother, apart from a brother, apart from a sister. Nobody feels that pain. You might think that you're in a pit, but you're not. There is always help. I want to thank the government for making mental health a priority, because we would have lost so many. When we were going to collect my son that day, we were so many parents. We left at 5 in the morning because we were going to Siaya. And I tell you, 6 parents were there because of suicide. 6 parents. And those that were in there that were waiting to be collected the following day, some were being brought in. We cannot lose youth for something that has got a solution. We cannot lose you who have got the energy to build our country for something that has got solutions. I beg you to engage with the processes that are available for us, for the options that are open for us, and please, so that you don't hurt your parents also. Because even when you go, the pain remains with us. The pain remains with the sisters, the pain remains with the brother, and the stigma that is associated with suicide. I personally don't care. I personally don't care what anybody thinks about me. And that is why I said that just to honor my son's memory, I will speak about mental health. Thank you very much.